forced to love someone is like having a nightmare, but for some, it's the perfect recipe for romance. That's why here are the top 10 romance anime where the MC is forced to have a bride. Let's go! Number 10, Taisho Otame Fairy Tale.
さらしを外そうとかきむしって手をすりむいたのか。吐血でなくてよかった。
お願い。取って。
Starting off, we have an MC who's so unlucky that he not only lost his mom, but also lost the use of his right hand. It's like the anime god saw him and thought, you know what would be a good idea? Kill his mom. Now, our boy Tamahiko went to Chiba Mountains. He's away from society and cast away by his father, and the only thing he has is his books and lonely nights. But all that's gonna change.
早く早く。Tamahiko-sama。
その刹那、心臓をギュッとつかまれ、ワクワクと何かが脳に突き上げた。
Taisho Otame Fairy Tale is that one series that feels refreshing after watching a ton of high school rom-coms, shonen series, and trashy isekai harems. It's because even the setting is unique, as the entire story is placed in a historical setting where we actually see two characters realistically going through a journey. The plot is straight up magic, and so is the soundtrack. Number 9, here comes Miss Modern.
好きですよ、ベニオさん。ええ、お会いする前からずっと。
何それ。変なの。
変ですよね。
変なお好き。大好き。
Do you drool when you see strong independent women? Well, don't worry because our gal, Benio Haikara-san Hanamura, is gonna make you faint. That's because she lost her mother early on and she was raised by her father who was in the military. She did become a bit of a tomboy, but hey, a strong woman's a beautiful woman. Still, how long can she keep this up before marriage shakes her world?
硬い。なんの。肉を切らせて骨を。
From the get-go, the entire series is different from most of the entries on this list because the female MC isn't your damsel in distress. She might have been forced to marry someone, but she's ready to fight back any time of the day, and I just think that's so cool. The character design and the composition might feel a bit old school, but it just adds that extra charm, you know? Number 8, my wife is the student council president.
あれは恋人同士だからでしょ。
こっちは夫婦だぞ。
な。
キスを所望する。
Before you start calling the FBI, hear me out. You see, our boy Hayato was running for student council president, but he lost to a girl named Ui because she promised things like sex education and free condoms. However, what they didn't know was that fate was going to have a little fun with the both of them as their parents promised to marry their kids while drunk.
みすみくんとはそういう関係だったのか。
誤解だ、会長。俺たちはただ。
私たちはただ。
Imagine being forced to marry someone you barely met just because your parents drank a little too much one day. Well, it's not bad news for us viewers because even though it doesn't have any serious storyline, it's still an amazing show that has no cheesy drama and no annoying teasing romance that never actually goes away. It's just two teenagers living a ridiculous life with some simple ecchi on the side, which makes it even better. Number 7, My Bride is a Mermaid.
なんといったものやら。
長住さん。
はい。
どうかしたん？
いや、なんでもないんだ。
変な長住さんじゃね。
This is literally just The Little Mermaid after it was hit by the Japanizing beam. You see, our boy Nagasumi was on vacation at the Seto Inland Sea, but he quickly starts fighting for his life when his legs cramp up. Luckily for him, a person saved him and it isn't a muscular lifeguard with six-pack, but instead a beautiful mermaid. Man, if I drown, I don't think the lifeguards would look at me.
私、日に焼けたら肌が赤く腫れるんよ。背中の方。日焼け止め塗ってくれん？
Anyways, this anime is just straight up hilarious, and you can even call it a parody like Konosuba. I mean, the girl wasn't only a mermaid, but from a Yakuza family? Like, how does that even happen? If you're looking for a relaxing anime, this is not it, because in almost every episode, there's something crazy that's happening. But for me, it's the first time in a long time I think this is a harem anime done right. Number 6, Ai Yori Aoshi.
どうしましょう。震えが止まらなくなっちゃった。
葵ちゃん。
はい。
Say hello to Low Jeans and Pop Punk because we're going back to 2002. Ai Yori Aoshi follows the story of Karu, who met a lost girl in a kimono at a train station. But it just so turned out that the girl was his childhood friend and came all the way to Tokyo just to marry him because he was already her fiancé.
写真部じゃ合宿の他にも撮影旅行とかもやってるし。
いえ、今度は二人で。
This is every lonely man's dream. A girl just comes out of nowhere saying that she's married to him. Sadly, my beautiful weebs, it only exists in anime. This anime is really just straightforward. There's no drama or big plot twist, but it somehow just works. You'll be surprised that even if it finished airing way back in 2002, it can hold up to most rom-coms in the modern era. And to make things even better, a harem's waiting for our MC and he doesn't even know it yet. Number 5, Love and Lies.
でもどんな人でも別にいいかな。私にとってねじまくんだけが特別だから、他は誰だろうと変わらないよ。
Ai Yori Aoshi might have been very simple, but Love and Lies sure isn't. In this anime, Japan uses a scientific method called the red threads of science to make sure that people marry the right partner. But at just 16 years old, the government already decided for our boy Yukari. This led to some crazy moments that might just make him rethink his entire life.
ただ、もう一度僕に笑いかけてくれないかなって思った。多分それまでの僕の人生で。あれほど嬉しい気持ちに包まれたのは初めてだったから。
Then I watched Love and Lies. I wasn't convinced at first and thought it was just another trashy rom-com, but I was so wrong. I said that it's the complete opposite of Ai Yori Aoshi because you could totally feel the complexity. Not to mention, very few romance shows actually make me think so deep about relationships and just how they affect our lives. It's the perfect balance of humor, sadness, drama, and just pure love. Number 4, Engaged to the Unidentified.
買ってくるから先帰ってて。
俺が買ってくる。
いいよ、わかんないだろシナモン。スティックじゃなくて粉の方で砂糖入ってないやつとか。
ググれば。
What would you do if two random people arrived and told you that you were their fiance and sister-in-law? That's exactly what happened to our girl Kobeni, and it's all because of her grandfather who already passed away. With no other choice, they moved in, but this decision might just be the most important and the best one she's ever made yet.
宇宙人
Over the last few years, rom-coms have just become bland. You have your violent tsundere, a harem, a childhood friend that always loses, and unreturned love. Almost every show has one of those things, but not this one. Not to mention the OP and ED of this series are straight up fire. So addicting to listen to. Sure, you might encounter some cliches from time to time, but it handles it so incredibly well that it doesn't even bother you. Just watch it and you'll know what I mean. Number 3, My Happy Marriage.
食欲がなくて私がゆりえさんにいらないと言ったのです。
具合でも悪いのか。
いえ、大したことでは。
まあ、いいだろう。
When life gives you lemons, just find a handsome guy to marry. I think that this should have been the motto for our girl Mio. If you thought the MC of Taisho Tami Fairy Tale was unlucky, then you'll just feel sad for her. When her mother died, she was instantly cast away and faded into the shadows. She was forced to marry a man she didn't even know, but this guy might just be the light she needed to keep on going.
ユリエとは少し味付けが違うようだが、悪くない。
ありがとうございます。
Unlike the others in this series, My Happy Marriage is quite serious when tackling this concept, and it's somehow a breath of fresh air. The flow, pacing, and animation of the series mix in so seamlessly to the point where you won't even know you're 10 episodes in. Also, it's just so wholesome. You literally root for the girl because of how hard it was for her. It's an underrated gem I wish more people just watched. Number 2, More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers.
ねえ、ジローはどれがちょっと今の何よ。
いや別に
目が合わないんですけど。
気にしないでください。
ちゃんとしてよね。私の恋がかかってんだから。
When life gives you a girl, make sure to lock her in a basement so she can't escape. It's not exactly what happened here, but you get what I mean. In this series, people are matched to other students for a program that does mock marriages. Unfortunately for Jiru and Akari, they don't get their respective crushes but are paired with each other. Now they try to pair up with their crushes, but do they really need to do that?
ねえ、ジロー。このまま名前呼んで。ジローが呼んでくれたらまた頑張れる気がするから。
The entire concept is just like Love and Lies, and when you watch both of them, you can actually feel the similarities between the two. But what makes this one stand out and rank higher is because I genuinely enjoy watching the characters and it's pretty fun. The animation and art style are also crazy as hell because the artist just decided to put vibrance and saturation to the max. Number 1, A Couple of Cuckoos.
何してんの。
開けるならノックくらいしてくれ。
何度もしたけど反応ないし。
Sure, clumsy accidents can be surprising, but this series just takes it to a whole nother level. Our boy Nagi and our girl Erica one day discover that their parents aren't even their real parents because they were switched at birth. Now, to make sure that everyone's happy, their moms and dads decided that they should just marry each other right away.
じゃーん、見て。
え、誰そいつ。
First off, how irresponsible do you have to be to not know your own baby? Second, just what got into their mind that they thought that forcing their kids to marry each other was a good idea? Still though, this is a really hilarious show, and the best thing about it is the characters aren't annoying. From the plot to the voice acting to just the ridiculous writing, I think A Couple of Cuckoos should be number 1 in our list of the top 10 romance anime where the MC is forced to have a bride.